Really good. Yeah. Had some coffee, so.
You're ready.
Yeah, I feel like a human being. Alright, coffee.
How are you?
Good. What are you guys doing today?
It's Abigail. Tell them what you're doing.
Yeah.
I do a bowling fundraiser just for chasing.
Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome. Want to practice talking to music? Yeah, like.
Go talk.
Go over here.
Sit by and talk to him.
I'm jamming.
You gotta talk louder, Abs.
Yeah, we'll both work on our projection. What's like they used to do like theater classes or anything, like the drama class? They used to do one of those things they do really students, things like that. Where everybody can go and say something like that. Really Just like, yeah, it's like, what music is this? What did you have for breakfast? Yeah? Pretty good. Pajamas? Did your mom make it? Pajamas. Okay, that's like the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Now you're ready. It's like introduce us. So it's for animal?
Tell them about it. Tell them when you started.
I'm not gonna go. You can tell me anything. Tell me
Just
all.
talk to get it all out. It's easier to talk to him.
When I was 9, I went to the Tracy Animal Shelter and I saw the conditions and I had to do something to help them. So I went to West Valley Bowl where I bowled in travel meet and in the record. And I asked the manager and he said I could be the one fundraiser, so that's what I'm saying.
How long was it?
I just went, I had a
But she, talked to reporters and Good Day Sacramento was out at her event. And
Oh yeah. When is it this year?
we just had it.
Oh, you just finished it. Okay.
Yeah, it was on February 9th.
Cool. Great. Hey, Ed. Actually, with the family.
That's our host's daughter's name too. Abigail. That's a good name. Okay, so
remember how you picked up one of those before?
we're saving it too. Okay, so stand up. Okay. And then try to put this under your shirt and up through your collar. Or you can drop it down through your collar. That'll kind of be easier actually. So drop that down through your collar. Don't want it to lay it.
Social media.
Yeah, no, you're man in the access back thing, right?
I mean, Gary does a lot of it too.
Yeah. That's why I see you like.
Never had
all
bowl with this
over
on
the
before?
Yeah.
all over the left.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, they kind of like.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Sometimes.
That's why I stopped bowling with headphones on.
Okay, so you can throw that in your. Oh, you need a clip.
We should
Yeah, she did.
Okay, let me get.
Like all the things are
Let me get.
photos of everybody in that video.
No, I understand. We got issues. Yeah, I mean, I'm behind the scenes. But I'm like very camera. He always follows us around.
Like covert, she's really passive.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, it's just people are behind the camera for a reason.
Yeah, because they can't give her away because she's a pit bull, but she's the sweetest one I've ever had.
Yeah, that's so she should be fine. Melissa's really small.
Yeah, if Melissa gets a bad reputation, that's not
She'll really,
Some of them are nice, but there's other ones.
yeah, I think that's and it's bowling pit street.
Yeah, or no one trees.
All right,
that's true.
nice.
Don't jump out. We can't go find you.
Yeah.
See, she's pretty thin, but she's on a diet, too. gain some weight.
Yeah.
Very straight.
Can I set it? Yeah.
Hi, good to see you. Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you guys here.
This is Andrew. He is our
Hello.
Hey, Andrew.
Hello.
Video extraordinaire.
We call him the stalker.
Okay, stalker. Excellent. Welcome.
I think you should stop that. So-
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And you remember Abigail? She's in our
Yes.
element right now.
Yes, I see that. She's loving her kitties.
Oh.
Abigail, you want to say hi?
Hi. Good to see you, honey. I'm looking forward to talking to you. It's gonna be nice and easy. Do you mind if I give you a little rundown on what the show's like? Sure. Okay. I know you love cats, so I hate to pull you away from your cat.
It's fine.
But this is really fun and casual and easy. So you're just gonna join me on set. It's like we're hanging out in the living room and we're talking just like we are right now. Okay. So you don't even have to think about the cameras. We'll just get the shot of you. We'll make you look good and you're adorable and you're funny. So I'm just gonna ask you questions that are written here. But don't worry about those. Just as soon as I talk to you, I'm like, hey, that's pretty much it. Just hang out and have fun. Okay. And just hang out with me on the set. So when we're done talking, because I'll be like, thank you so much, Abigail. Just stay with me. Okay. Just hang out with me. Don't get up and run away. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So nice and easy. Sound like fun? Yeah. And Mom, you can take pictures and stuff too while we're, if you do, because sometimes you can get some pretty cool shots of like the cameras and all that. But if you do, just make sure you're avoid you're not in the way of the floor directors and stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then maybe commercial break too. Okay.
Yeah, just pictures. Unfortunately, we can't do video during the segment, but yeah, we do. And if you guys want to hang out, just do. If you want to get some shots.
Okay.
Full interview, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Does that work for you? Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome.
YouTube's done.
Yay!
Question: How much did she raise last year?
12,000. 200? 12,000. How much have you raised though total? Okay, that's it. Alright, so
30,000.
Okay. Ever since she started her. I'll say it. Okay. Why, thank you! Pins for Pets, awesome! Oh, they're during the show. Well, I'm a hugger, so I'm gonna give you a hug. And I tell you, just go ahead, relax, have fun, just chill, and you already might. So when you're ready, they're gonna bring you on over here to sit down. What you're gonna see first is I'm gonna do a segment on the levitate first on Prince. Very cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat. And then I'll walk over and do a segment of the and then we'll go to commercial break. And that's when we're gonna grab you and bring you in. Back in the day, this actually used to be part of the news broadcasting portion as well. It used to be news out here, and then there was offices and offices. That was a really long time ago. News 10 is 60 years old. We kicked off our 60th anniversary this year a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't it the 60th anniversary party? Just like last week or weeks before that? Disneyland.
No, yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yes, yeah, and we have a great partnership with Disney too. So we'll actually be down there for the 60th celebration.
Yeah, no worries.
In May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the weekend of, is that in May?
And then I went there, yeah.
Okay, good. Just make sure I got that one right.
Yeah.
Labor Day is September.
Okay. I get that confused.
It's because
as
she
well.
has a newer face. They're like sick of
I think they're
us.
keeping the park open like 24 hours one of those days. For that.
They're doing a whole new color. They're doing the electric light thing.
Yes.
Bringing that back. They're doing immersive fireworks, where when you're down Main Street, they're blowing fireworks off the top of the buildings too, and doing all these graphic lights.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
So we need to
go. They're doing all kinds of really cool stuff.
Is that a server room?
A server room?
Yeah,
We
with
have
the hard
tons.
drives and
Okay,
networking.
Andrew. Calm down.
I'm the tech guy, so I just
okay,
I'm
well,
loving
come
this
on.
right now.
I'll show you. So you'll notice on the wall we have a lot of historic stuff. Sam has my IFB, right?
Unless if you gave it to her,
I
I'm
did.
going to assume that she has
Okay.
it.
I love that show.
So this is the control booth. This is where
It's not a force
Steve-
field, they can go in.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, Andrew. It's okay. No touching, Andrew.
I only have like 4 monitors at home. This is way better.
Are you
Oh,
ready?
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Follow me. This is not interesting. That's just monitors.
I'm in love.
And you see all the monitors. And we work on automation.
Oh, cool.
So used to be years ago, we would have a that's the switch, or there'd be a person operating, hitting the buttons, see the cameras and all that other stuff.
Mhm.
And there'd be a person rolling tapes, and a person on audio.
Mhm.
The automation does all that now. To what we call a remote, and then I can access it through my code. So that's how we see live shots. Live shots will come in through a a satellite, and then I assign it a place to rest or reside, and then I call that particular source up, and that's how you see live shots. You get to do whatever you want and add this, and I basically have to do what I'm told to do.
Yeah.
If the producer wants the camera,
We're gonna be
I take the
under on
camera.
the Studio A
Yep,
now.
off you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
You were watching Judge Judy?
Where are we? Oh, yeah, in there? Yes. Yeah, I know. You can watch anything in there.
Yeah, I saw Judge Judy.
Don't ask me what this is. This is just part of the inner guts
A bunch of wires.
of everything. Yeah. So, we put up a lot of nostalgic photos though because of our that's cool 60th anniversary. There's Oprah Winfrey when she visited here. We have Reagan when he this is as a governor, and then a number of times he came back as president. And then this is actually to our current time. These last two.
That's pretty cool.
But this is where news broadcasts out of. And this is called the 360 set. So what that means is that there's a scrim that's usually dropped right there, by the way. So you don't see behind the set and the lighting. There's a scrim, much like these right here. But 360 set means that they can pretty much take an image from anywhere in this studio with the exception of what's directly behind you, and it could be camera friendly. Our cameras are all automated, as Steve had mentioned, which only a very few handful of stations in the entire country are that way. So this is robotic cameras, and what you see on the ground, you see these peanut squares, and then you'll see like take points. They're preset points, so the cameras already have kind of a program built where the director Steve in the studio or the master control will hit a button and say go to position whatever to the cameras. They'll pre-program it on the list.
That's cool.
And so then they know where to go. It's cool, but I will tell you as talent and having dealt with these quite a bit, when I used to do weather, I would be in here building graphics and all of a sudden a camera would like drift off by itself and I'm like, there's been a couple of times where you'll be on air and like the director won't catch that they have two paths crossing. They have a lot of these bugs fixed, but in the beginning they didn't. And the cameras would run into each other in the middle of the broadcast. Or I'd be like doing weather on the wall and the camera would just start to drift off. And it's like,
Gonna ask, is this the weather
come
wall?
back.
When
Yes.
you point
Yep.
to the
So this is the weather wall. And when an image is projected, so like when I was doing the goofy meditation thing, you obviously didn't see anything on that. But on the monitor, you can see that there was an image. So how a chroma key works is that it projects the image onto it, but it only comes up into a different feed, and that's the feed that goes out live. So when someone does the weather, they're going to reference the monitor to the left, to the right, and then there's also a monitor that hangs underneath the camera in front. And then that's how they can tell what they're pointing to. It's kind of like when you first want to do your hair in a mirror. It's backwards. So you have to get used to what direction that you're going to be turning and pointing to for your images.
Okay.
And weather's all ad-libbed. So
Interesting.
you're allowed to do
I
that.
never knew that.
Yeah.
So what's it like when there's breaking news and it's like you got to cut to
something?
Yeah, something crazy.
Production-wise, so like having to shift from it's a really good question. It's a very technical question. So having to shift from a really organized show like news, what they would typically have for like all the programmed computers. If there's true breaking news, what they will do is, depending on how severe the news is and what they think is required to cover that story properly, sometimes they will decide to go out of automation and go to manual. That way they can feed in whatever live feed they need to whenever they need to, take different camera shots, and then they can have a floating cam somewhere else and bring that in. Because when you're automated, it's hard to change sources all the time like that. But that's not what they do all the time. Sometimes they can actually stay automated and just feed and move things. But typically what it means is they dump the rundown. That means we're going to go off the rundown, we're going breaking now. And as an anchor, you just sit and wait for cues from the producer. They're like, okay, this is what we're going to do next. Okay, now we're tossed to so-and-so in the field. Ad-lib, fill. So you talk about what you know, you talk about the points that you heard from the reporter, you reiterate, you talk about what video they're feeding in, you reiterate the information that you know currently, you toss to somebody else, but the producer's constantly in your ear saying, this is where you're going to go, this is what you're going to do. The way Sac & Co operates is very similar to breaking news, but it operates on a daily basis like that. Sac & Co is a very free-form moving show, so while we are pre-produced, there is a lot of movement to the show. There's a lot of situations where sometimes we will be like, you know what, we're dumping the A block, we're putting C block first, we'll do the A block later, I'll get you updated scripts and tell you what we're doing. We shuffle like that all the time. So there's a lot of times where I'm like, when I was talking to Abigail, Sam's in my ear talking to me the whole time while I was chatting with you. Somebody was telling me stuff that was happening, what was going on, and I was also running my prompter at the same time.
I'm not that talented. I'd be all like,
yeah. So I was talking to you,
That's pretty
conversing,
cool, huh?
and then
Didn't
running
know
a
that.
prompter, and then listening to somebody giving me a cue. But that happens a lot. That's probably about 90% of what I do on that show, moving and walking and talking and going over here and doing that. And then they're like, okay, we gotta dump this, we're gonna feed that, you have this much time. Go to this question, do that, change that. Yeah, yeah. These are old photos. Now this is a master control room, so this is different than what Steve was showing you. This is actually where all of the programming that airs on Channel 10 comes in by satellite from across the country and sometimes across the world. So there's always somebody in here to capture that information and load it into our system to make sure it airs at a certain time slot. The cool thing is for these guys is like we have like a lot of soap opera people, right? They get to watch the soaps before they air because as they're capturing it, they get to watch it as it feeds in from the other networks and stuff. But if we ever go off air, that's when an alarm goes off in here and someone has to fix something to make sure that we're constantly, having our programming here. And how news works is that we have like Judge Judy or whatever we have in the middle or the Goldbergs, and then we will switch from feed, and then there's a nice gap in there where we plug in our news or second code. So we have a very specific amount of time for us to get in on air and get out before programming or commercial or what the next list is that airs. That's why sometimes when you're watching a newscast and they're like, good night everybody, and it's like, blah, they get cut off. That's a producer had their timing just a little bit off. To do mornings and videos, it's me at the desk with Dan. And it's up here because of school.
Is that the ankle picture?
Yes, this is from these are letters from schools as they come in, so we do a lot of schools. And then, this actually used to be a chicken factory when we acquired this building in the mid-50s. And then they renovated it and turned it into a station. And then, and the original building was the portion above the ramp that we just walked down. Then they eventually bought a Chevron gas station directly behind it and then built this building. So that ramp is actually the connection between the two buildings. And so is the little kind of
That's
square.
pretty cool.
That is really cool. Yeah. This is our little Sac and Co section. So this is our Sac and Co office where all the magic happens. We come together to play a really close show. They're like, where's that? Play. And then all the way down here is promotions. That's actually where my office is down here. I work in promotions. Yep, exactly. Yes. So this is the newsroom. So what we see here is this is all of our reporter pods. This is the producer desk. So this is where all the producers sit and write news. And that is the assignment desk where all the scanners are. These guys are constantly listening for like breaking news.
And all that, and I'll call your attorney.
And I'll walk you this way too and show you where the anchors sit.
Oh, no, no.
But as we go this way, if you look at the monitors here, where it's kind of, as you see the white background on the wood.
He's a real person, but it's
rundown, so that's some of the stories that might cover for the day. It's got the reporter
He
assigned to
posted it on his own Facebook, so he probably did it.
He said something like, I told you guys there was something big going on in the whatever his last name was.
Here.
Yeah. Last month I know something exciting was happening. Now I just wanted to make the announcement. Check out my
Over there we saw the camera and the lighting. In addition to this, a couple of newsroom live shots. So if you watch them, you're like, in the newsroom, and so-and-so. That's where they're standing. Ah, they're there. That's pretty cool. And then back there is the other end. I'm gonna rent directly from. I wanted to go really, really bad, but I've never made it yet. I've not made it. I don't know if you're I haven't even had a chance to do Nordic ski in this area. It's just bonkers. Well, there's no snow. And then here we are. Look, right back at Jackie Co. That's cool. It's a big. Yeah. It's a giant donut. Yeah, it's a big old sword.
Well, thank you so much for taking
You
this.
are welcome. I certainly hope you had fun. I'm so glad I was able to get you.